traumas will lead us down a road of destruction.
Oh, for sure.
If we do not deal with them.
Yeah.
You cannot build a house on sand. Yeah. You know, you cannot build a successful relationship, marriage on a rocky foundation. You cannot build a solid financial life for yourself. You cannot build wealth for yourself if your habits are not intact. If you don't know why you spend money the way that you spend money. If you don't know how you trigger by money. You know what I'm saying?
You got on your keys. You got on your keys. Everything you want on top of everything you need, just got on your keys. Nobody could take this, built it from ground up, and nobody could break this. I'm making real moves, when I see it, I want it, I get it. Let's build an empire, baby, I know that you with it. Can't nobody stop this, they can only watch this. It's time to talk life balance, love and marriage, all the trending topics. No off days, come up the hard way. Never no shortcuts, I took the long way. Gotta leave treasure for my kids' pleasure. Every law's been a lesson and
Welcome back to the On Your Keys podcast. I'm your host, Ming, and we got my co-host right here,
J. Gaudet, aka Mr. On Your Keys, y'all. What's good?
West Side. I'm saying what's good, like West Side.
Oh,
what?
That's good.
West Side.
Listen.
What's up, y'all?
Oh boy.
What?
Nothing. That's good.
Yeah. You cute. I'm cute. No, okay, well seriously, what's up, y'all? But here's a real question that I want to ask, because I dealt with this. Let me just say this, okay? I think I told y'all about the story where when I went to one of my little favorite little stores. So one of my little favorite little stores to go in is Marshall's, because they have like all the skincare stuff there, right? So I went into Marshall's and I gave myself like a $20 limit, right? But this was the thing. I had accomplished something real big, and I was like, you know what? I just want to treat myself, give myself. I know we all done struggle with this, right? When we are going through something, you know, when we're going through something emotionally, it's like buying ourselves something makes us feel good, you know, that emotional trigger of like feeling good, so you're gonna go spend money. So I did something, whatever, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go give myself a little happy. It was a $20 happy. But y'all, anyway, saying all that to say, went into Marshall's. I think I bought like 2 skincare things, but I only spent like $18. Y'all, I waited for him to wake up, and when he woke up and he called me, I was so excited to tell him that I went into Marshall's and only spent $18. But I still got the same feeling that I went in there for. So I wanted to ask y'all, how many of y'all have ever struggled with, you know, emotional spending or impulsive spending, or, you know, just whenever something happens, whether it's bad or good, you have something that triggers you to make you go spend money, you know? And I think that a lot of times we'll deal with those things and we won't even realize it. You know, we won't realize that, hey, this is something that's emotional that I'm dealing with, that's triggering me to do whatever the thing is. You know, some of us go drink. Some of us, you know, cry. Some of us, you know, some people go do drugs. You know, honestly, it happens. And so I think that it's just super important to start dealing with, especially as I'm over the age of 30, Jay's over the age of 30. We're navigating to a totally different part in our lives, a certain different place in our lives. And when you don't deal with those emotional triggers, especially when it comes to your spending, you'll find yourself 50, 60 years old in mounds and mounds of debt, you know, and now it's messing with your mental health, you know, seriously. And so like I really wanted us to dive into this today, because it's something that we all struggle with.
And think about this: no matter what your emotional trigger is, or that thing, it's still going to tie back to how you treat your finances. Because it's whatever it is that you do to get that dopamine feeling.
Yeah, that dopamine rush.
It takes money. If it's drugs that you're doing, you got to buy the drugs. If it's alcohol, you got to buy the alcohol. If it's shopping, you have to spend money on whatever that emotional trigger is tied to. And that's why, you know, we really coin it as a financial trigger. And usually those things are tied into something that we've dealt with over the course of our life, or in our early childhood or adolescent years, that money could not buy us that thing. So whatever that trigger was, whatever that emotional thing that you were deprived of, and the result was the result of it was that if you had the money to purchase that thing, then that emotional trigger would have never happened.
Right. And I think that, like, one of the things that we learned, in being, I think that you guys know this, being certified in financial therapy, is you have to deal with a lot of those childhood traumas.
Right.
Our childhood shapes us in ways we a lot of times do not realize. Yeah, like, seriously, even emotionally, just imagine, like, being in a relationship, and you never received love or you weren't validated from your parents.
Yeah.
You may go into your relationship and you may seek validation or maternal validation from your wife or a fatherly validation from your husband, but then imagine how that plays into the issues that you may have in your relationship, because your partner is not your mom or your dad. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes it comes from, we'll put those people on a pedestal or in those places in our lives where they don't belong, and we'll expect a husband or a wife to be what a mom or dad was to us, when that's not their role. That's not what they're in our lives for. And I think a lot of times, what we do is because we're just in a place in our lives where we're just operating. Our traumas will lead us down a road of destruction.
Oh, for sure.
If we do not deal with them.
Yeah.
You cannot build a house on sand.
Yeah.
You cannot build a successful relationship, marriage, on a rocky foundation. You cannot build a solid financial life for yourself. You cannot build wealth for yourself if your habits are not intact. If you don't know why you spend money the way that you spend money. If you don't know how are you triggered by money. You know what I'm saying? If you are, like, gambling, right? People that gamble, why are you gambling? What is triggering you to gamble? Especially the people that gamble and their wives or their husbands don't know about it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so going back to checking in with who you really are, checking in with your traumas, and then dealing with them. And then you might be saying, hey, how do I deal with my traumas? How do I deal with those things? It literally goes back to understanding who you are, why you do what you do. And it starts from childhood.
Yeah,
go ahead, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But that what she's saying is correct. I can remember when we first got together, we came from a totally different type of household dynamic. And I didn't know this, in my early 20s, that my default setting was to spend money. But as I got older and had to go back and reflect and figure out, like, why is it that I can go out and I can earn astronomical amounts of money? I had no problem earning money. Whatever I was doing, I can sell. Whatever I was doing, I was going to earn money. But I could not keep it. When I earned it, when it came in and went out. I know a lot of people can relate to that. Money came in, money went out. But that was because it was attached to a financial trigger from my childhood, that when I got money, I had to go find a place for it. Not a place like an investment or something. I had to go find something to buy that was going to make me feel a certain way.
But what if you did find an investment? What if you did it instead of again spending the money on a material thing to make you and your emotions, feel a certain, I don't want to say your emotions feel a certain time, but to regulate your emotions, what if you put the money into investments?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you were putting it somewhere. You would have been putting it somewhere.
That, because that's a great question, and I did that as well.
Yeah.
But did that in that time where that financial trigger and that financial trauma was not checked. It was not dealt with. So guess what? I made investments, but when I profited from them investments, guess what I did?
Spent the money.
I blew the money.
Right.
So the money. So my habits wasn't tailored to where I profited from an investment and I reinvested those profits. So I put the money in something else that was going to continue to grow a portfolio. I thought I get the profit. I'm like, all right, well, I didn't made the bag. All right, time to go buy some designer. Time to go buy a car. Time to go on a trip. Time to go do this. Because my foundation came from a household where it was imparted to me that when you earn money or when you get money, you need to find something to do with it, because you may not know when you're gonna get it again. Yeah. So I was already groomed from an environment or a spirit of lack. So when I get married to a woman that comes from a household of saving, then guess what? Our two financial personalities are clashing.
Yeah, I can remember even like my mom and my dad, deciding on like how groceries were gonna be, how grocery in our home was gonna be bought. Meat or like cabinetry items and things like that. Like I can remember doing that. So even now, when I go to the store, I had gotten into a place, and that's another thing too, guys. We say this all the time, your partner is your biggest investment, because they're going to impart on your life regardless of how you think about it or not, right? Because
positively or negatively.
Because then getting with Jay, and then over the years, mind you, we've been together over 10 plus years, so now we've got together. I've totally gotten away from making a grocery list when I go to the store, and now I'm just going to the store, just picking up stuff, because once you do have a certain type of money, then you feel like you need to go to the store 5 days a week. But what if you kept those same habits, but not a lack mindset, right? Because when you don't have, and if you're getting EBT, there was a time that we both got EBT, so getting to a point to where now you're going into
stamps, y'all.
Now you're going to the store, whatever. Now you're going to the store and you have a lack mindset, so now you're only penny pinching to buy things. Yeah. But having the same mindset, you're just not in lack. You're just only getting what you need. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that whenever you're dealing with the traumas, I also think it's the way that we bucket and we tell ourselves certain things, that we make ourselves believe certain things. Yeah. Because if you get to the point to where you're not saying, oh, I'm depriving myself, oh, I'm not sacrificing, I need to do this because I need to do this.
Right.
Now you're believing a totally different thing, and now you don't feel so deprived. I'm saving because I have to save. I need to save. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there may come a time where I need this money.
Yeah, and it's really just like you said, changing
the stories that you tell yourself about money.
The thought process. So one of the things that I did for myself is I like cars. I like nice cars. And I told myself I want to get to a point to where I don't want to go to the bank and get a loan and buy a car. I want to go to my bank account and buy a car. That's what I want to do.
And I've had people to do that. I remember when I worked at Chase, I would see, and it wouldn't be us that would come up in there.
So when you're looking at your finances and how you want the trajectory of your life to be, that's how you start to develop the foundation of your finances. That's how you start to develop your emergency fund. That's how you decide how you want to structure your investments.
How you want to put your kids through college.
Exactly.
How you want to go on vacation. How you want to spend money for Christmas.
Exactly.
Like seriously, not to where you're waiting a month before Christmas or 2 weeks before Christmas. Now you got to use your rent check or your check to pay your household expenses, or even going on vacation. You selling place to go on vacation.
The part that's bad is we spend the money anyway.
Right.
We spend it like Christmas time come, you're gonna go get a loan to go get Christmas gifts. You're gonna go get $2,000 to $5,000 to make sure you can get all the Christmas gifts that you want and pay that loan over the next year or so.
Yeah.
Opposed to you to just save the money over that year and just took the money and went and bought the Christmas gift.
And now you can still pay your household expenses, pay your rent, and you're not sacrificing or depriving yourself, which can put you in a worse position.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, even if you go get payday loans, right? We never, things happen so much. When you go, I can literally remember, people that I know. And I remember one time I used the title on my car. On my car, I had a silver tracker, y'all, and I had bought it with my tax money, and it was like $1,000. And I remember my ex and I going on a mini vacation, and me putting the title up on the tracker so that I could get the money, because he was terrible. So I used to do a lot of those things in our marriage, so that we can literally go on a vacation, But then I couldn't go back to get him to give me the pay to help, I said payday loan, I guess it was a title loan. Yeah. Get him, I had to use money. And if you already are strapping for money, then it's like, imagine just the emotional mindset, the mental that it puts you in. Like, it's so taxing on your mental health. So again, just doing the thing. Doing the thing and this is another thing too. I'm just gonna hone in on this. You have to stop. This is the part you gotta take out. Okay. But but I really want to hone in on this, guys. you have to be so mindful of the stories that you tell yourself about money.
Yeah.
Because the stories that you tell yourself about money is definitely what you're going to believe and how you're going to live your life. So if you really want to overcome financial trauma, if you really want to overcome bad financial habits, first you got to check into what is the story that I've been told my whole entire life about money, and how can I change that story.
Yeah.
So this is On Your Keys podcast. This your host Mink signing off. Y'all be blessed. And
follow, subscribe.
Oh, yeah, you could have said it.
You know.
Leave us a 5-star review because it helps us. Girl, y'all send us to a friend. Share us with a friend, with a family member. And
look, let us know in the comments.
What are some things y'all want us to talk about?
Some things that y'all might want us to address. Again, Mink is a certified financial therapist.
Certified in financial therapy, yes.
I'm an investment consultant. So we have a plethora of knowledge when it comes to those two things combined. We bridge the gap. You know, we want people to understand how to build a successful financial lifestyle from the ground up.
Yes, from just even being in business, right? You know, guys know we started business in 2015, you know, in the government contractor space, still currently, you know, in that investment space with government contract. The government buys everything. They have over a $6 trillion spend limit, you know, and just being able to, when you do get these contracts, when you have access to these resources, being able to tap into them and leverage them so that you can build a lifestyle that you are proud of and that you actually want to live.
And all of those things tie into your financial habits. Everything. When it comes to your personal finances, your business finances, it ties into how you manage your money. So let's get to it, y'all.
Yep. Follow us at On Your Keys on Instagram, at Mink Simone on Instagram. Leave us a 5-star review because it helps us grow. And y'all be blessed. Peace.
Gotta leave treasure for my kids' pleasure. Every loss been a lesson and an unexpected blessing. Plenty seeds showing up, small money growing up, accomplishing my goals, champagne bottle pouring up. Name on everything, I'm signing the dotted line. Money been working for me, I'm kicking back on recline. I own it just like the moment, everything I became. My hustle could take the blame, solidify my name. Gotta walk through the rain, gotta go through the pain. You gotta soak up the game, create your own lane. Switch gears, never change, level up and gain. You can have everything long as you do one thing. You just gotta own your keys.